Hey, welcome to the new episode of Business Culture. Today's guest is someone who spent the last 14 years helping over 1,000 families find not just houses, but homes in Hyderabad. We are talking to Sony Antony, the founder of Aston Realty. He's seen the city grow, markets shift, and trends come and go. But what stayed consistent is his people first approach to the real estate. In this conversation, we talk about how he built a trusted brand in a super competitive space, how tech is changing the game, and what first time buyers should really know, and the personal values that keep him grounded through it all. There's a lot to take away from this one, so let's just get into it. You have had a quite a journey, 14 years in the real estate industry. Can you walk us through how it all started and what led to Aston Realty?
Absolutely. 14 years of constant learning. So every day has been a new day. I've been learning new things. And this happens especially when you deal with people who have their own preferences, perspectives, and expectations. So my foundation is in marketing. I did my PGDM in marketing from Christ College Institute of Management, which is today known as Christ University. And I also hold a marketing degree from All India Management Association. So I was recruited from campus by a company called ITW India Limited, which is today known as Signal, which is a multinational company into the packaging and automation segment. So it was all into B2B sales, the experience that I've had. Post that, I worked with a company called Cyclop, which is again a subsidiary of Cyclop International Germany. So this is again into B2B, the same sector. So if you look at it, the learnings that I had in that profile was more about dynamics of decision making, dynamics of negotiation. Dealing with B2B sales has been about knowing gatekeepers, decision makers, influencers. It is a completely different way of work compared to what I'm doing today. Then in 2011, I, along with two close friends, started a company named Maxco. One of my friends was my B school mates, basically. From then on, it has been over a decade of dealing with diverse segments. Then I realized that dealing with premium clientele, the expectation that they have goes more than just basic listings. They want vital information, they want analysis, they want trust. So that is where Aston Realty was formed, a company which focused on luxury residential. This wasn't about more transactions. This was about delivering deeper value from property identification, developer vetting, competitive analysis to home loans, documentation, registration. We were there to provide an end to end service. So, the whole objective was to provide value based interior solutions at the most competitive price. Because clients today, once they buy a property, it is not a one time affair and it is not a simple task as well. So they have a lot of things that goes in when buying property and they have to spend a lot of time and effort behind it. So our objective was to reduce that thing, the time, right? So because the most important asset today for anyone is time.
Right.
Once time is gone, you cannot get it back.
Absolutely. If you bring everything into one roof, so even it is easy for the customer to choose whatever services they want. So
Exactly.
it's like a complete a package, like a one-stop solution what you're providing.
Exactly. That's what we wanted to come up with. So today a client buys a property, he spends a lot of time researching about the property. After he zeroed down, okay, the property looks good. Now, is the developer okay? Can I trust him? Will he complete on time? Is another headache that he has. For that, there is not no easy way. It might be a new developer. He might not even know the developer, but the property looks too good for and it's quite lucrative. So that is where we come in. We do a background check on the developer, right? We try to find out what their intentions are. Is it only to make money and just deliver something and go away, or are they looking at a long term goal, of establishing a name, doing good projects? So very simple. If you fall sick, you go to a doctor, right? If you have a legal problem, you go to a lawyer. And when you are using professional services for all these things, a home buying decision is a very major, it's a major decision. It's a very important decision. You're putting your life's hard-earned money into it, right?
Commitment.
It's a commitment. So why do you just want to take a decision like that without, without communicating or without consulting with a professional? That is where we come in, and we help our clients, get the best of the property.
Right.
And one more thing, just like a doctor, if you go to a doctor, whether you get cured or not, he will definitely charge you. A lawyer, whether you win the case or not, you'll have to pay him. But we as consultants, we charge only when you buy a property.
So even don't you think building a trust is also a very crucial factor in the real estate market? So how do you ensure your client satisfaction and to maintain a long-term relationship with your client in such a competitive field? So how do you ensure that?
See, in real estate, trust is not an important thing. It's everything. So if you look at it, Aston Realty has been built on three pillars. So the first one is transparency. The second one is consistent communication, being in touch. And the third thing is after sales support. So these three things become very important when you deal with the clientele. Because transparency, now if a client wants to buy a property and I take him around, I show him property, I say all these properties are good, sir, and I talk only about the best things, he might end up taking a wrong decision, because nothing is completely good, nothing is 100% perfect. Every property will have some disadvantage and some advantages, so it becomes very important for you to actually communicate to the client what are the good and what are the bad parts, of that particular property or investing in that property. So we tell the pros and cons. We tell them, like, for example, if he's want to buy a property, everything looks good, but we say, sir, there's a lot of pollution in this location. You're right, in this particular location, there's a lot of noise pollution because you're on the main road. You can also look at properties which are a little bit inside, where you don't have much of a noise and vehicular movement. The dust would be less. So we try to give such kind of inputs, basically. When we are very transparent with them, customers appreciate that. That is what they need, right?
No, I think that is very important because when we go to buy a property, especially when we are going to buy or rent out a property, even the brokers or the agents, they tell you upper say they'll give you a gist of the property. This is what it is. But when it comes to, let's say, as you said, the the small things like the approach road and the other factors, they tend to miss out. And then it is only when you rent or when you buy that particular property, oh, then you say, oh no, we didn't take care of this. So don't you think even that minute factor, it makes a difference to the buyer?
It definitely does. It definitely does. Because when a customer realizes that these are things which I never thought about, and this guy has given a new perspective to it, he really appreciates that. So, transparency, trust is a very, very important, and in fact, the most important thing in our business. That is transparency. Second thing is consistent communication. Now, I sell a property, the customer buys it, and I vanish. That is not the way how it works. You need to be in touch with the customer. You need to understand how the whole process is going through. Is the developer completing on that time? Is the property actually coming up? Is there any legal troubles which the property is getting into? And we need to communicate all these things in time, right? Because customers might not be aware about several factors which is happening internally. But if you don't communicate that, that becomes a red flag. Especially because customer is putting his life's hard-earned money, right? All throughout his life, whatever he has earned, whatever he has, tried to save is something which he's buying property with. So it becomes very important that he actually deserves to know about it. And again, this plays a major role in differentiating us from others, where we keep in consistent communication and keep informing the clients about what is happening about the property and the way it is shaping up. So that is the second thing.
Yeah. So now, as you said that the property, the market is very dynamic. It goes ups and down. Now, the Hyderabad market has seen its shift. How do you adapt to these changes?
Hyderabad has always been a dynamic market. So from 2015 to 2018, you might have noticed it was a boom market. The market was booming, right? So there were a lot of launches happening, appreciations, properties were appreciating in the range of about 20, 25, 30% year on year.
Right.
And with all this, we tried to definitely, ride the wave. And we came up with a lot of information. We came up with a lot of pre-launch information to the clients. And these were information which were given even before the brochure was released in the market. And our clients made use of that opportunity, and they invested in the property and made loads of money. So we were there. Then came from 2019 to 2021. That was the period of lull, because you might have seen that RERA was being implemented, GST effect, and the COVID, all these things. So there was a standstill in the market. Even at that point of time, we did not let the downward trend hit us badly. We tried to, like I said, ride the wave instead of getting drowned by it. So what we did is we held a lot of seminars. We tried to educate clients. We did one-to-one sessions with clients and tried to explain them that this is the right time to invest in, because everything looks low. This is the right time to enter into a market and possibly take advantage of the low prices, because this is not gonna remain how it is forever. And a lot of people actually did invest with us, and they are happy clients. They again made loads of money basically with that. So being proactive is very, very important in such a market. Then again, if you look at it now, that 2022 to our current period, things are looking a little bit slow. In the current period, if you look at it, the market is slow. It's a bit sluggish. Lot of inventory overhang. Lot of all the projects which were launched are getting ready today. So all these issues are there. Again, we cannot just keep quiet and just wait for things to happen. We have to make things happen. So we are focusing on micro markets, which are today reasonably well priced. Places like Budwale, places like Rajendra Nagar, places like Kollur, which are coming up and comparatively affordably, it's priced more affordable than the prime locations. And they're growing in a big way. Infrastructure has come up. So you can see a lot of road connectivity. So we are talking about outer ring road, we are talking about the upcoming regional ring road. So all these connectivity brings all these faraway locations closer to our city, and that is what matters. So today, if you travel during the peak hours, even for about 10 to 14 kilometers, it takes over an hour, hour and a half. But if you actually take these outer ring road and regional ring road, even if it is about 30, 40 kilometers far, it takes less than an hour for you to reach. So that is how places are getting, the locations, the outskirts are getting closer to the city, and it makes more sense for you to for the customers to invest in outskirts at more affordable rates, and again enjoy the kind of appreciation which will come with time in those places.
But yeah, as you said, in terms of investment, Hyderabad is often considered as the prime location for investment. Why Hyderabad for investment?
A very good question. In fact, I would say Hyderabad is the best city to invest in today. And it's not me speaking. It's if you actually follow the reports, you would see Mercer has ranked Hyderabad as the most livable city for 6 years in a row. You will see a lot of IT giants, tech companies entering Hyderabad, right? They're expanding their businesses, they're coming up with new campuses. All this is happening because Hyderabad is blessed. Hyderabad is blessed geographically because it is right in the center of India, which is not prone to earthquakes or wind and cyclone or such kind of natural calamities which many coastal regions or actually face. Geographically, we are blessed. We are also blessed culturally, because if we look into Hyderabad, Hyderabad has a proper cosmopolitan culture. People speak Hindi here, so North Indians are very comfortable coming to Hyderabad and staying. So you talk to a auto driver, you talk to anybody on the road, people speak. Though it's in Urdu, Hindi, it's people find it quite comfortable. Unlike many other southern states where speaking Hindi is a bit less. Hyderabad biryani and food, and also people enjoy the food out here. So that way, Hyderabad is a very good city to live in. And also, if you look at it, Hyderabad is not, at least till now, we haven't faced the kind of traffic problems which you find in a lot of other metros. Still, people can, travel other than one or two major traffic hotspots. Most of the places are easily reachable, and those are also there. It's not consistent and only during the peak hours, but otherwise, I don't think anybody takes more time to reach their workplaces. That way, Hyderabad is quite. We have very good infrastructure. That is another thing. So if you look at high tech city, Gachibowli and all, it doesn't feel that you're in Hyderabad. It feels like once you take a. I have posted a lot of pics where people say, "Which country is this?" Right. So that's the
It's
thing.
becoming a major IT hub. So, with the rise of tech, how was digital transformation helped you conduct the business in real estate?
So if we are talking about technology, we should talk about artificial intelligence. So you might have recently seen the new tech image generation feature, which ChatGPT had come up with. People are going crazy around it. So tech definitely mesmerizes people, and people get carried away by tech. They like it. So if you look at that in a real estate perspective, valuation models, especially powered with big data analytics, have played a very important role. So we are talking about trying to match the customer profiles, the requirements of customers with the available inventory in the market. So that actually optimizes pricing. It also lets us know which are the markets which are heating up, and that these are the services which we actually use in our advisory services, to get optimize the cost of investment for clients, that the clients save on time and they don't have to go around looking for different properties, but we try to use this technology to match their preferences and get them the right set of properties. So that actually helps. So then if you look into it, you have virtual reality that plays another important role in our business, because think about a person who is sitting in Bombay or in London or in US, and using the virtual reality gadget goggles, and they are just walking around the model house of a particular property, and that is possible, and that's what people are doing. So you don't have to spend time or money and fly all the way from US to India to Hyderabad to buy a property. Just go through it, look at the features, amenities, feel it's good, invest in it, just look sitting there, do an online transfer and book a property. So that is another important thing. Then you have definitely have blockchain. So if you look at it, blockchain pilots for title transfer of property, smart contracts, and all are already in place. And a lot of developers have started using that as well. Now couple that with cloud-based CRM systems, Internet of Things, managing a property, property management, power management, maintenance alerts, everything comes at the click of a button. These are the things which are actually reshaping and changing the whole real estate dynamics.
Right. So it's like it's improving the real estate industry, and it is giving strategic advantage to the buyers.
Absolutely, things are getting smarter, right? Otherwise, getting any kind of information at one point of time was a Herculean task. You had to actually go through documents, papers, make phone calls. Now everything is available in the click of a button. You have a mobile, and the app shows everything. Okay, your property. This is the bill, the electricity bill that you got for your property, right? Or the maintenance has come up so much. Today, the agreements are digitally signed, right? You don't even have to go to the builder's office. So it saves a lot of time, a lot of cost, and a lot of effort for the client. So it is actually transforming the whole scenario.
Absolutely. Now, what advice would you give to the the first time investor in Hyderabad with if they are just entering the real estate market with a very low or less budget? What is your advice?
See, I would say that, especially for college students, if a college going student is looking at buying a property, this is not the right time to buy, right? Because property is not like spending 100 rupees, 500 rupees and buying a property. Comes with a big cost, and especially a city like Hyderabad, you don't even get anything, a proper property in about 20, 30 lakhs, right? So a 2 BHK in a gated community today in Hyderabad costs over a crore in a prime location, right? So college students or people with a low budget should actually look at, uh, you know, digitizing their source of income. Now, if you look at it, if I talk about a laborer, he gets in cash, and by just getting in cash, he spends all the cash. But once, since like if you look at it, the government has uh, popularized UPI like anything. So today, even the laborers are asking for a UPI payment, so that this is digitized, that's recorded. So when you have that credit worthiness, that is when banks would give you the loan. So it becomes very important that you have a proper bank account and you get into that saving mechanism. People should learn to do that, because once you start saving, You really don't have to put all the money together by yourself and buy a property. There are money lenders, there are banks, there are institutions who are ready to pay and fund. That is how you can build wealth. But for college going students, it's too early for you to take a decision. You should actually study more about the market, real estate market. You should spend time understanding dynamics, read more research reports, right? Talk to developers, talk to consultants, learn about the whole game, and then when you are ready and have a steady source of income, you know, invest in properties and make money out of it. So that is one part of it. Now, a first-time home buyer who should ideally be in the range of about, and that's where our target clientele is, somewhere in the age of 30 to 35, 40 years old. That's the right time for you to buy a property where you are earning well, you've got into a family, and uh, this is the right time to invest in fact. And at that point of time, you need to look into several factors. You being might take a lot of wrong decisions. So first and most important thing is definitely RERA. Now that RERA is a legal framework which has come up, which actually regulates the real estate industry to to function properly and in an ethical way. So none of the properties, none of the builders can actually make a property without registering with RERA. And when you register with RERA, you need to give every compliance reports, all your approvals, and the time period within which you are going to deliver the property. That is when the RERA, the body, actually gives you the RERA certificate. So it's a very important thing that you look into the RERA certificate, go through the details, understand when is the completion, what are the things which are going into your property, are all permissions in place. So RERA plays an important role. Second thing, what a first-time buyer should look at is which all banks are actually funding the property. So if the banks are funding the property, they have already done their legal check because they'll have a legal department who's done their legal check. And especially if it's a national bank, they have very stringent process basically. So check whether which all national bank, which all banks are funding this property, which will give you more confidence in investing. The third and the most important thing is the track record of the developer. Has the developer delivered properties? How does the property look like? And visit such kind of properties. See how the maintenance is. See how the property has come up. Are there any issues with the construction? Look into the property. Talk to customers who have bought with them. Have they had a good experience with the builder? Understand and then take an informed
So
decision.
this is also a way to protect the investors from shady builders.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you look at it, another thing is again online reviews. Today things have become easy, right? You're not happy with something, you immediately go and put a review.
Right.
So going through the builder profile, understanding the reviews that he has for his project gives you a very good idea as to how the developer is.
Now, beyond business, what personal values or philosophy guide you approach to work and life?
See, I feel once you cross a certain age, once you have met most of the targets of your life, it becomes very important that you set yourself apart from others. And what sets you apart is how good a businessman you are, or how good a person you are, in fact. So I find that real estate is not a job, it's an honor for me. I'm honored to help. So I actually try to help my clients find the right property, right? I help my clients buy their dream homes as per their own requirements and not get into a wrong investment, something which might not be fruitful for them in the future. I am honored to negotiate on behalf of my clients and get them the best deal. Because when a client goes and buys a property with the developer, he might not know what is the right price to buy it. The builder might negotiate, might not negotiate, and just close it out. But then, me being in the industry for over 14 years now, I know which builder in which locality is selling at what prices and what are the best possible prices that at a point of time a customer can avail for that particular property. So I try to help my clients negotiate and get them the best deal so they get value for their money so that they invest their lives hard earned earnings in the right way. I am also honored to protect my customers from shady developers. So this is another thing which I am doing because my customers shouldn't fall into the wrong hands, right? They shouldn't fall into traps.
Right.
So if you look at it, something which has been very common over a period of time, at least last few years, is the pre-launch schemes, which is not the typical pre-launch schemes which used to be earlier, wherein properties were launched before it went in the market. But pre-launch schemes actually, the whole meaning has changed. It just means that you pay 100% payment upfront and own the property. Now, owning the property also doesn't mean that you're buying a flat there. The developer might, register a small portion of a land of that particular plot to your name and say you will get so and so flat. Now, this is a trap. And why does developer need that 100% payment even before the approvals are? And all this happens before the approvals are there, before the RERA is there, right? So of late we have been seeing lot of developers, new time developers getting into the market, coming up with new projects, people who doesn't even have a track record. How do they do that? They go, so this all these things have happened when this business again started, coming up, and there was a boom in the market, and people found that there's a lot of money in real estate, and everybody wanted to get a pie of that. So two, three friends got together, they go out in the market, they identify a land, they say, wow, this is a good land, let's do a property here. Now the landowner asks for a certain price and they don't have the funds. So they go out in the market and say, this is the plan, this is a beautiful property I'm coming up with. Give me 100% payment and a property which might be costing, what, for example, 10,000 rupees per square feet there. I'm offering the same property at 4,000 rupees per square feet under a 100% payment scheme. And people fall for such traps. That is a red flag, that anything that looks too good to be true is a risk, is a big risk, because there is no free lunch, right? So the intention of the developer, even if it is right, saying that okay, today I'll sell at 4,000 rupees per square feet, and where a property is already selling at 10,000. So tomorrow I might sell at 15,000 or 20,000, looking into the appreciation which is happening, looking into the growth which is happening, and try to offset the loss which I'm making now. Tomorrow, if the market is not good, tomorrow, if the market comes to a standstill, everybody gets stuck. The developer gets stuck, people who have put in their lives hard and money get stuck, right? And just because they are landowners as well. Now, once a customer comes and buys a property with them, they are registering a portion of that land to your name. So, legally, you become a landowner of that property. Now, if the property is not delivered on time, legally, other than the developer, the landowners are also responsible, liable, and that becomes a big issue. So I always suggest my customers to stay away from such kind of schemes. 100% upfront before RERA, right? Pre-launch schemes, OTP schemes, I really don't recommend those. As a RERA approved property consultant, I would stay my customers to be aware of this. RERA does not support any such kind of OTP schemes, and any property, investing in such a property before RERA is a big, big no.
So, if you could change one thing about the real estate industry, what it would be?
I would standardize the hassle-free handovers, because if you look at it, many a times customers are worried, when will my property be delivered? Is the clubhouse okay? Is this what you're going to deliver? And is this how it was supposed to look like? So, a lot of questions in the mind of the customers. So, I would say probably a digital portal that notifies whenever there is some development in the property. Maybe some approval has come, occupancy certificate has come, and immediately customer comes to know that, yeah, this particular phase of the work is complete, or this approval has come. Now I can, you know, I can move into the property. So this information and real time information is very important. So that would actually ease up the life of investors. Second thing is a third party audit. This would also help, because if you look at it, I don't know, is my property supposed to look like this? Is this the kind of finishing that my wall should get, right? Because I am a layman, I have bought a property, but I don't know about it. But a third party audit who actually specializes in such things, who comes, sees your property and says, okay, this looks good, and goes to the clubhouse, see, okay, these are the amenities promised, and all these amenities are given in the right way as promised. That audit facility is definitely again going to be of a big help for your for the customers. And another thing could be a one-click system, which would also, probably rectify all the snags within a 48 hours time period. So if you look at it, a builder comes and asks a customer to come and check out the property and check whether everything is in shape. And then you point out a few things and you say that I want these things rectified. The builder takes ages to get it rectified. Because the registration has already happened, he's got the money. Now handing over is not in a day. is his headache, but he doesn't, look into it seriously. So a proper 48 hours time period for rectifying all the snag and handing it over to the customer should be again a welcome change, which would actually build up the confidence of investors and save them from worries. So I think yes, these are a few things which would actually help the real estate industry to work in a more professional way.
That was some great insights, Mr. Sony Anthony.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for being on the show. That's a wrap on this episode. Anthony brought more than just insights, he brought clarity. Whether you are in real estate, just starting something of your own, or figuring out things out like the rest of us, there is something real in here to hold on to. If you like this episode, pass it on to someone who might vibe with it and hit the follow button. And yeah, stick around. We have got some amazing stories coming up your way. Thanks for listening and see you next time on the Business Culture.